working it out. Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm Auntie Simone.
And I'm Mama Lisa.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yes!
Everywhere.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Take a look at the 5 and cake. Glistening once again. Candy canes and silver lanes.
All right. Who's excited for Christmas?
Woo!
Pretty sure all Christmas trees are up. Some of you may have baby's first Christmas. It's really an exciting time of year, which is why we have to talk about what breastfeeding looks like during the holidays.
Very important.
Yes.
Because grandma and them great grandmas, any mama,
Aunties,
other than probably the mama,
Mhm.
is gonna be following that sweet baby and saying, "Hey, don't you want to just give them just a little bit of stuffing, just a little bit of some greens,
little bit of gravy.
something that's gonna stick to ribs,
some mashed potatoes."
That's right. Oh, that's a big one.
And the baby is all about, 3 months old?
Right. Either that or a nice little turkey leg.
Mhm. So I know moms, we are excited about introducing solids. I know I was.
Yes.
I was like, okay, when can
Ready.
we eat real food? Like breast milk is not real food.
Right. It's the organic stuff of life.
Yes. Just remember, there's a saying that says, food before...
Good saying. 'Cause I don't know.
solids before one is for fun.
Oh, yes. I remember you saying
All
that.
right, sometimes it's food before one is for fun, or solids before one is for fun, which really means that breast milk should be your baby's main source. At least for 6 months, your only source of food is the breast milk.
Mhm.
After 6 months, when we can start introducing the solids, and even then, we don't depend on the solids for nutrients. We just we're experimenting with different textures and things like that.
Right. Yeah, I remember my experience when my first, you're getting a lot of information from different places. You get your information from not only your own family, but you get information from the pediatrician.
Yes.
And yes, I was a part of WIC. Whoop whoop. And so I got information from WIC, and it did seem like a lot of the information was not the same. Of course, yes, going back to that family member who was like, I fed you when you was 4 months and you did fine. Yes, great, wonderful. But there's information out there now that is encouraging for our sweet babies to not consume any regular adultish type foods until about 6 months.
Yes.
At about 6 months. I know.
Yes. So typically what we teach is we recommended breastfeeding exclusively for 6 months.
Definitely.
And I tell moms that, and the looks that I get is crazy because they're like, what? That long? 6 months? But my mama started giving my little brother foods at 6 weeks. And
Right.
cereal at 2 weeks, So, yes, exclusively breastfeeding for 6 months, which means that your baby should not be getting anything but breast milk. No water, no juice, no cereal. A lot of times, grandmas think that babies are thirsty and they need water.
Yes. Or it's the hiccup thing.
Yeah.
That was what my mom had mentioned. Oh, ask the doctor when you can serve water because the baby is hiccuping.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom would always ask me, when was the last time you gave him some water? And he's been drinking water this whole time, because
Right.
Breast milk is 80% water.
That's right.
So your baby is not, dehydrated if you're breastfeeding.
That's
They're
right.
getting plenty of water through the breast milk. And my mom didn't understand that. So that's something that you need to explain to grandmas and other family members that are going to be around your baby during the holidays, is that they're getting water from the breast milk.
Yes. So remember that we might have said this before, but I always say, hey, you are the Coke bottle, honey. You are breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all in between. And I know, like you just mentioned about a client who was like, oh my gosh, I gotta do this for up to 6 months. But remember too, your first 4 weeks to about 6 weeks, yes, you are feeding almost around the clock. But after a while, or about, maybe let's give you about a couple of months, it's not going to be as strenuous. Your baby has adjusted. Baby knows, okay, I go to the refrigerator and get what I need and I'm done, right? And so you being that refrigerator, baby will definitely get what he or she needs, and boom, she's done. So to continue to know that you are the one that is doing an awesome job nourishing your baby. So during that time while you're eating that turkey, so anybody who wants to say, oh, give your baby this turkey leg or give them some greens, sure, through me.
Yeah, they can taste all that stuff through the breast milk.
That's right.
So yeah, just remember the first 6 months we're not doing anything but breast milk. At 6 months, if you want to, your pediatrician may advise you to go ahead and, dibble-dabble in a little bit of soft foods here and there. Make sure everything is pureed. And, a lot of times moms don't realize, but you can make your own stuff.
Yeah.
It is really not that hard. My son loved sweet potatoes. I would bake it in the oven and then puree it in the little baby maker. And you can add a little bit of breast milk in there and feed it to them, and they love it. So little things like that. What are some other good
avocado
first meal?
You can do avocados,
yes.
Pretty much like you mentioned, just anything that you can definitely soften up, puree. And honestly, there's a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of people, I didn't do it, but a lot of people, they'll boil it first because that will help soften it up, and then you can put it in a blender. Of course, now they have the little baby blenders, so if you want to, go that extra mile, spend that money, you could do so, and you can ask for that for Christmas if you want. But again, hey, I'm going to save you some money. My Ninja or my Oyster blender will work just the same. But those are some really good tips as far as what you can do when that time comes. But definitely, again, just emphasizing the fact that you want it to be soft enough for your baby to just kind of pretty much, again, play around with.
Yes.
Just still licking and still kind of figuring things out.
Yes. And I also think it's important that we mention that you want to introduce one food at a time.
For about a week.
So you want to do, let's say, we're going to do avocados. You want to do avocados for a week. And the reason for that is because of food allergies. If your kid has, or your baby has a food allergy, then we know, okay, we can't do avocados anymore. So we want to do one food per week. You're definitely still going to continue breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And it's recommended for a year to breastfeed. So exclusive for 6 months. Then you're going to introduce your solids, and you're going to continue to breastfeed for up to a year. Now, the World Health Organization do recommend 2 years and beyond.
That's right.
Okay, so if you want to continue past a year, please do, because breastfeeding past a year is really going to help with baby's immune system, building baby's immune system. Because remember, now they're walking around, they're crawling, they're touching stuff.
That's right.
So breastfeeding past a year does help with things like that.
That's right. And especially with everything going on nowadays, that COVID. So you guys continue being safe. And again, continue breastfeeding. Breastfeed your baby.
One of the first foods that we tried was the cereal. And a lot of times moms they're getting these cereal, from the WIC office, or they may be going out and buying it. And they feel like they have to put it in the bottle to thicken up the milk so that baby can sleep longer or whatever it is. And we advise you not to do that. Yeah, not to add any cereal to that baby's milk for the first 6 months. I'm sorry, 6 months. Okay, nothing but breast milk. Now, if you want that to be a first food, you can definitely do the oatmeal or the rice cereal. Mix that with your breast milk, and give it
Yep.
to your baby that way.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that I did. And we did the puree, sweet potatoes. We never did avocados because back then I wasn't sure, how to tell if it was ready or ripe or whatever. Now I love avocados. I eat them all the time. But we never did avocados. Bananas. I gave my son, I think banana was one of his first, with milk. And those are, good things that you can try.
Now, I would love to hear from you guys. If you would comment in the comment section. Answer the fact that, have you noticed, for those who are, maybe second-time moms or what have you, had you noticed that fruits introduce more of a liking to sweets, or, introducing those vegetables first? Now, I have heard that, yes, you want to do vegetables first, then your sweets, your fruits second. And me being that, having the two, I noticed that my first is like me. We're sweet eaters. And then with my second, I said, okay, you know what? We're going to do, start later with the fruits. And we did more vegetables. And I have noticed that she will intake a little bit more vegetables than, the rest. But it's still kind of one of those things. Is that a myth, or is that factual? And so, again, I mean, I've heard this stuff from training, but...
That's true. I mean, that is usually what we recommend. Do vegetables first, and then later do fruits, because you want your babies to like vegetables, right? And vegetables, they're not as sweet as the fruits. For me, like I said, my son's first food was the sweet potatoes, and even though sweet potatoes are considered vegetables, it's more on the sweet side, So,
but a healthier, better choice.
Yeah, and we did a lot of bananas. We really didn't do
lots of
a
fruits
whole lot of
first.
Like grapes, like really sweet. Like a lot of parents do, like apple sauces and things like that. We didn't do peaches. We didn't do things like that.
Yeah.
But my son is 8 now, and we have no problems with vegetables. He loves his vegetables. Sometimes he'll eat that first before he eats anything else.
And I would say too, not to knock anything. I think I noticed more of the cans of or the ready-made foods. I'm not gonna name a brand, but those were the ones that I think had maybe that added sugar that kind of aided to that. And so I wish I would have still introduced. Not saying I probably would not have gone to the shelf to buy those introductory foods, but I wish I would have did more of the vegetables first. But definitely going back just as a finisher, definitely consuming your own fruits and vegetables for your own self. But notice that when your baby comes to the breast, he or she is getting a taste of what you guys are used to in your own home, in your environment.
And that definitely does help later with picky eaters. They say breastfed babies are not as picky. Now, in general, I do believe all children are going to be picky eaters. But what I noticed with me and my son is our taste buds are the same. If I don't like something, I know I don't think he's going to like it. And most of the times he don't. But if I like something, he'll like it. So I do notice that we kind of have the same taste buds. And I do think that has something to do with the fact that when I was breastfeeding, he kind of tasted a lot of stuff that I was eating.
Yeah.
So that's one of the benefits of breastfeeding, is that you probably have a less pickier eater, because if you're a healthy eater and you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, then your baby's been getting a taste of that stuff.
Yeah. So awesome sauce. Listen, we're going to come to a close. We wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas, and we will see you in the new year. But I hope that something was said today that has inspired you, encouraged you to continue on your breastfeeding journey. Don't you dare let no one discourage you. Merry Christmas!
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our channel.